Today you guys get to witness me perform this massive transformation on my client's haircut. This is going to be a tutorial video. I'm going to be showing you everything from cutting the hair, blending the hair, how I perform the fade on the back, beard trim, proper products I like to use in the client's hair, and finishing it off, styling it up. Of course, let's get into it. So first, what I'm going to begin to do is I'm going to start to just comb out the sides. I just want to get all the hair in place, move the colic around, make sure everything's sorted out. Grab my water bottle. I'm going to start to wet the hair, and I want to comb it in place. I want to get it out of the way of the sides. I'm going to begin the sides right now. So because he has so much hair, I'm going to start with the number 3, and I'm just going to start to remove the bulk a little bit. I'm not going to go too crazy because he's going to go a little bit shorter on the sides anyway. This is just to kind of make room for me, just so I can begin and just start to flick out that weight. Just easier to set a guideline, in my opinion, when the hair is a little bit shorter. I'm going to run around to the other side, do the same. Run it up about 2 to 3 inches above just to start to get the bulk out. I'm not really too focused on making an even guideline right now. Just want to get the hair kind of set and short. Now I'm going to run through. I'm going to do clipper over comb just to get that bulkiness out of there. Move the weight out of the side so I can focus on setting my 1.5 guard on the side. So here we go. I'm just going to keep removing a little bit more weight. Not really perfectly blending it, just getting hair out of the way. That's my main goal here. Run around to the back. I drop it a little bit in the back because I'm trying to leave the colic a little bit heavier so it doesn't stick up on him so much. Now I'm going to start with a 1 actually, and I'm going to go about an inch over the ear, maybe 2 inches, just to set that guideline. The fade is going to spread a lot once I move up, so I'm going to just kind of drop this down. Once again, to leave the colic a little heavy, I like to drop it down a little bit lower, bring it around the ear, bring it back. I'm going to end up fading the back away too, so I'm not too focused on the hair on the bottom of his neck right now. Start with going over the ear, start connecting this all, and now I'm going to begin to blend this hard line that I made, blend it away. I'm going to grab my 1.5 first, and I'm just going to start to flick this away here. Slowly start to move up, breaking away, setting that first guideline above my initial guideline here. So once I do this, I'm going to spread this up about an inch, I would say. Now I'm going to grab my 1 guard and I'm going to open it, and now I'm going to slowly start to taper away this heavy line that you guys see here. Make sure that you're using a brush too, because the brush is going to get the loose hair out of the skin, and it's going to actually show you what you need to cut versus what you don't need to cut. Run around to the other side with my 1 open, start to get away these little dark spots here, just to go through and just keep fading this around. I'm going to probably have to do more touch-ups as I come around, but this is just kind of setting the line on the bottom for me. Now I'm going to take my number 4 and I'm going to start to go up a little bit more just so I can start to remove a lot of that weight up there, and then I can focus on blending away the rest of the shadows here. So that side's looking pretty good there, but it's a little bit heavy, so I just want to go through. I want to keep removing a little bulk. This is just to get the shape down right, so I'm going to take scissors and fine-tune this because it's almost perfect, but I just want to be able to snip away those little long ones that you guys see hanging right there. Go around to the back, and this is why I left the back long, because as you can see, there's a lot of weight for the colic to work with in the back there. So I'm going to comb that down, sort it out. Now I'm going to run to the back. We're going to set a skin line in the back because I convinced him to do a taper on the back hairline here. So we're going to skin this all out. I'm going to grab my 1/2 and I'm going to start to blend away at this line here. Make sure to keep brushing it. Close the guard, and this is going to fade away that bottom skin line that you see there. And now I'm just going to start tinkering with the lever, open and close. Grab a 1/2 guard. Move up a little bit more. Start to fade away the darkness on the back as well too. Touch up these little dark spots here. Now I'm going to run through, sharpen up the hairline. This is my favorite part to do. I'm just going to run it around his ear, make sure that it's nice and clean. That sharp line completes the haircut. Over the ear as well too, like you can see how much of a difference that makes right there. It's a big part of the haircut. Very, very important to have that nice and clean. Run through the other side. I'm going to shape up this back line here. Run it over the ear a little bit as well too. Connect everything. This is coming together real nice. Over the ear once again, sharpen that up a little bit. So as before, I'm just going to connect this down over to the other side of the ear here so we get a nice little loop that you can see. This will give his haircut a little bit more longevity as well too. Brush the hairs in place, and we're looking good. Let's move to the top. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to run through and I'm going to start to saturate the hair very, very well. I want to get it very wet, and I'm probably going to run through, and I think I cut about 2 inches off. It's probably been about 4 months since he came in. So I went through and I started with a good 2 inches. I always start in this spot where the part is laying over, and I run all the way back. That's like my initial guideline that I start with. Then I'm gonna run through and you can start to see that I can see where I left off from before, and I'm just gonna continue to follow that all the way through. The rest is kind of self-explanatory. So I'm just gonna keep connecting the dots here, keep bringing it up. Now I'm gonna run towards the middle a little bit more, and I'm gonna see right where I left off, clear as day. So just follow that over, bring it all the way back. I'm gonna have to definitely double check this because he had a lot of hair and it's been a while, so I just want to make sure I got it all. And on this left side here where he combs his hair over, you want to make sure that this is the longest part of the haircut. So like to get that style you guys saw in the thumbnail, you want to leave this longer. So now I'm going to run through. He's got quite some bangs, as you can see. I'm probably going to chop a good 1.5 inches off. First I'm just going to run through, I'm going to do a blunt cut across this, and I am going to come back and I'm going to texture cut it a little bit so it doesn't look so like a bowl cut in the front. So now I'm going to run through and I'm just going to start to break that up a little bit. I'm going to point cut this, and this is going to break that line up so when it falls forward and it dries, it doesn't look like he has a drastic bowl cut on the front. This is a great technique to use to break up the bangs. Now I'm going to grab my beard oil and I'm going to use this on his beard before I start to cut it. Beard oil is going to soften the skin, it's going to moisturize the hair, and it's going to make it easier on him when I start to go pick out his beard. So this is going to start to loosen it up a little bit. And then I'm going to grab my big round shears. They're my favorite for doing afros and big beards like this. And then I'm going to run through. I'm just going to trim the ends. He doesn't want a lot. Sorry guys, you don't get to see a huge beard transformation here, but he just is going to get a little neat and tidy up here because the hairs kind of start to split same way they do on your head. So you want to make sure that you run through and you just slightly start to snip these hairs away here. And I'm just going to run through and start to kind of round it out to his chin, bring it around to the back, and he's really looking good. Like, it didn't really need it too much, so I'm just gonna focus on just getting a little bit. The mustache, you guys got to make sure that when you're doing this, you don't go too high or else it's gonna show their lip and they're gonna hate it, especially when someone leaves a mustache thick like this. Now I'm gonna run through and I'm gonna start to sharpen up the cheeks a little bit just to give them a little nice line. Bring up to the hook, sharpen up the hook a little, and of course over the ear to sharpen up the line just a little bit more. Bring it to the other side of the cheek as well, sharpen up that line again, and bring it up to the hook as well, and of course over the ear. So now this is my styling kit that I love to use. It as sea salt spray, texture powder, and matte. I dropped a link in the comments and in the bio if you guys want to check it out. So first I'm going to start with sea salt spray. I'm going to put this in damp hair and I'm going to comb it in. I really want to spread it out before I begin to blow dry it. And now I'm going to grab a blow dryer, I'm going to grab my round brush, and I'm going to apply high heat, and I'm going to start to move this around. First I'm just kind of focused on drying the hair. Then once it's a little bit drier, I'm going to start to curl it with the round brush like you see right here. And this is going to give the hair a little bit of bend, this is going to give it a little bit more volume here, and this doesn't really take that long to do, to be honest. You could probably get away with 4 to 5 minutes max in the morning. Switch to texture powder. Texture powder is going to give the hair a lot of added texture. Just make sure that when you put it in, you rub it in until all the white flakes are gone. This is really going to help the hair stand up a lot. Now I'm going to grab a little bit of matte. This is going to lock the baby hairs in place and give it a little bit of extra hold throughout the day. And I think he's looking good. Let's see what we got here, guys. This came out really nice. And there we have it. There's the before. Man, he needed a haircut. And there is the after, the final result. This is a number 1 on the sides with a low fade. Faded out the back, cut the top down a little bit, and trim the beard. Thanks for joining, guys. If you enjoyed this video, please remember to hit that subscribe button. And if you're interested in checking out the store for Vinity, I will give you a special discount as always for making it to the end of the video. Use this discount YouTube and you can get 15% off our entire store. Thanks for joining, guys. I will see you again next Friday at 5 o'clock. Have a good weekend.